What up? What up? What up? It is that guy Dub, and I am back with another video. How y'all doing? At the end of the day, shouting, I'm good money. And today, we got a special guest in the building. You saying comedian extraordinaire, Mr. Ant Morrow. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, boss? How y'all feeling today? How y'all feeling?
Good, man. Over here, you out here killing shit, and you saying the Cleveland, Akron scene in the comedy, man. So how'd you get started in comedy?
Oh man, I always been interested in comedy since I was young, and I just decided to give it a try one time once I got in college. I went to a comedy show, and the comedian was being unfriendly to the black people in the audience.
Mm,
So I decided to do something about it. I won the crowd over. He basically almost ended the show early. Hindsight 2020, I probably wouldn't have did that because it was kind of rude. But 19, I didn't really care at the time. But
right. So you
after that, I'm in the
basically,
rec the next day working out, and everybody like, "Man, you the dude from yesterday, man. You was funny as hell. You was funny as hell." And then my the guy there, he had interest in my dude Big Chevy, and he took me up to the funny stop, and then after that, I was hooked.
okay, that's what's up. So you basically pulled the Eddie Murphy in Nutty Professor.
Yeah. Except I won. I ain't get flipped into no piano or nothing.
Oh man. So like a lot of people you said like they get in this because they think they funny. You said what sets
Mhm.
you apart from you said the person who's like who gets up there like has a couple of shots of tequila is like I'm gonna try to be funny. Like what sets you apart from you saying like from that?
I think what set me apart is that I don't have the same fear that I had when I was younger. Now it's like I'm comfortable with what I'm doing. I know I'm funny, so I know what I'm about to say. People gonna resonate with it, you know. Um, when you got that blind liquor in you or something like that, and give you that false confidence, it can be hit or miss. But you know, when you know what you're doing or you have confidence what you're doing, a lot of times you win over than line.
Right. Well, so like 'cause we're talking about basically heckling. How do you deal with hecklers now that you're on the other side of the microphone?
I deal with hecklers. I just give them a fair warning. I let everybody know I'm not the last comic you saw. So unless you want to be a part of this show, I suggest you just enjoy my show.
So like right now, I'm sure you've done all the rooms in the northeastern Ohio area.
Yeah.
Where's your favorite place to you said set up shop at?
My favorite place will probably be Hilarity so far. Every time I have Hilarities, it's a good vibe, good energy, staff great, building great. The other comedians always bring it, so I always enjoy doing Hilarities.
Okay. Well, you said that you actually requested and recommended to me by our brother Mr. Lex Vegas, Mr. AKA himself.
Yeah, that's my dog. That's my dog.
How'd you get into it with our brother Lex Vegas?
Just by word of mouth. He had been doing shows around the city and stuff, and I had heard wind of him. I didn't really know who he was at the time. And then our paths had crossed. He saw me do a couple sets, and he had started booking me on shows and stuff. And then since then, we've just been rocking. You know, whether it be him needing help finding comedians for his show, or me coming out to support his show. Shit, we did road trips to Columbus and stuff together.
That's dope. You said when you go to Columbus, you guys go to see Sister Blue, right?
Yeah, yep.
So you said like so what's the difference between like Cleveland and a Columbus? Is like a crowd sort of similar, or do you get like a different vibe down that way?
Um, I feel like crowds are kind of similar across Ohio. Ohio's one of those states where they're gonna make you work for the jokes. Um, Outside of maybe like the funny stuff in Akron, I feel like most clubs, especially clubs that got like black people and stuff like that in it, they're gonna make you work for them jokes. So it don't really matter if you're in Columbus, Cincinnati, Cleveland. If you're not bringing, they're gonna let you know.
Definitely, definitely. Now, you said going back to Lex Vegas. Now, one thing we all sit here and talk about when it comes to Lex Vegas, and you said I was asked to mention this again because he wants to clip it out of my show that he's a professional asshole. He said when you're dealing with him in person. He said, is that the basic gist that you get when dealing with him?
No, because I don't know if I met a bigger asshole than myself. So I feel like everybody else is just they tame compared to what I get into.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So like, you said let's get the cat out of the bag right now. You said right now we deal with a lot when it deal with cancel culture. Where you said
Hmm.
people are butt hurt about every fucking thing. So do you care about you saying like the topics that you pick to write your jokes about, or you just or like are you cognizant, or you do you cater them to not offend anybody?
Well, you can't be afraid to write what you feeling, whether it be a taboo subject, a hot button issue, whether it be something that's going on in the news right now. If you feel confident in it, or you feel like it's something that you can convey and get a message across and get some laughs out of it, you should be able to talk about it. If you're
Absolutely.
gonna talk about one of those subjects, though, it got to be funny. You can't just bring it up for the sake of bringing it up. So you can't have like a trans joke or a joke about the Jewish community if it's not gonna kill.
Mhm. So you like one of those type of deals is like if you're gonna go all the way, but you said
Yeah, like if you're gonna do it,
hate.
but it gotta hit. Because if it don't hit, you just the biggest asshole in the room.
Well, have you ever experienced that where you're the biggest asshole in the room when it came to maybe a hot button issue?
No, because I know how to navigate them. I know how to read the room a lot. That's one thing I do whenever I get into a spot, especially if it's a new spot. I try and get a lay of the land. I try and look at who the audience is, the bartenders, the bouncers, so you'll know if somebody is a predominantly gay audience. You'll know if it's hearing other comics or the host go up. You know what kind of stuff they don't laugh at or the kind of stuff that get them kind of tight. So you kind of can just navigate your set around that. But at the same time, if it's something that you want to touch on, like I said, you just got to kill it.
Well, you
Because
said
you can't be afraid to be funny just because you might hurt one person's feelings. Because 100 people might enjoy that joke, and that one person just an enigma in the crowd.
but that's usually how it is, though. It seems like that one person gets butt hurt, and then it seems like everybody bandwagon on that one person. When in any other circumstance, that everybody else would have felt the same way the other half of the room did. You know what I mean?
Oh no. So like I said, it's seasoned comics and like professional comics has been out here touring and on TV, and people been doing it 5+ years. You have more of, like I said, a sense of when to step in and step out of a subject, or how far you can go with a subject, or what. Because sometimes you can say something, but if you just change the wording, it'll make it come over a whole lot easier to digest. If you want to say a gay joke, you're not gonna come out as calling somebody. I ain't gonna say it, but you're not gonna call them around with drag. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna say that kind of stuff, but you might say fruity, or you might say something like that, or you want to you just want to watch your verbiage when you actually talking about certain subjects if you about to hit that subject.
Right. Like this is something I wanted to ask you and comedians in general. Do you feel like sometimes comedy might be a dying art form just because everybody's so sensitive? Because like I was reading something the other day when we was talking about. I guess some more did a special not too long ago, and they was calling Zaya Wade a boy. I guess misgendering her or whatever, and they were trying to tear some more apart about that, getting the fact that this special was a couple years old. You know what I mean?
Well, once again, that's one of them subjects because it's like what people don't understand is you're attacking a child more so than you're attacking the fact that they're a homosexual or they're transitioning and stuff. So you gotta be sensitive about that because nobody want to hear you attacking children. That's like attacking somebody with disability or something like that. Certain things you just got to be wary, or you got to be cautious on how you approach it before you try and like go in, especially if you don't go hard on the topic. That's still a child first. That's someone's child. That's still a minor. That they can't in the same realm defend themselves how they would. So you just got to watch doing stuff like that. So nothing is off topic. I mean, off limits, but some stuff you gotta ice skate on. To be honest with you.
Right. Well, it's just like I think about stuff like this. It's like you was talking about getting into comedy. It's like one of the best analogies I've heard from a comedian was from Tyrone Gang. And we all know him. We all love him. He's the guy. He was like he got his start in comedy from because he used to work in a funeral home, and he said if he figured if he could make somebody laugh on the worst day of their life, he can make drunk white people laugh any day of the week.
And that's facts.
So like, where does your inspiration come from? You think like,
My inspiration, honestly, in comedy right now, it comes from just success. I'm very success driven. I feel like every stage that I do, especially new one, I want to leave an impression. You know, it's nothing of a better feeling than when you walking off stage or you heading out of the club or you sitting there about to watch the rest of the show and people coming up to you when they want to get an autograph or they want to shake your hand or they want to like, can I take a picture with you? Or, you know, somebody like, I mean, I was having a rough day, then I mean, you turned all around like just being to put a smile on somebody's face motivates me. And then just being successful, honestly, you know, I got sons looking up to me and I just want them to be proud of what I do and the choice I made to continue this craft and continue this dream that I had for such a long time. So the motivation is that if I can get to a certain level, or if I can just keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm proud of what I'm doing, and they proud of what I'm doing, then that's all that matters for real.
That's beautiful. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. Now, you said we're gonna, I guess, get into a subject that just happened. You said Charlemagne gave this person donkey of the day. It was a guy in Louisville, Kentucky, who shot his roommate in the ass because his roommate ate the last hot pocket. Now, with you, you said being a comedian. Now, how do you take that story and you said present it on stage? Like if you were
Oh, I mean
telling them,
that's easy, and I'm a fat dude. I mean, I can feel his pain. It's been times where I done came home and shit inside the refrigerator. I'm ready to take my kids and drive them into the lake. Like y'all got me fucked up.
I'm a
So
skinny nigga. So
so I can feel his pain, but I mean, you gotta be down bad in a struggle to shoot somebody over a hot pocket. They ain't even that good.
fact, fact. You said it was like it's funny because like I got home from work last night and I literally I started to fold my son up like a love note because before I went to work I went to Wingstop and I got me you see, a little 10 piece you saying bone in wings. You know what I'm saying? Had my lemon pepper stuffers. I was ready to go.
I
I get
feel it.
home. This nigga left me one wing in my box. I was ready to flip the house upside down. So,
I mean, at least you left you one. My sons, are, my sons are left me the damn bowl of ranch. That's about it.
oh man, that's bogus. I mean, these kids are crazy as hell with this shit. It's like you said you have sons. How many kids you got?
I got 5 sons.
Nice. I got 5 kids and 4 of mine are girls. Pray for
Oof,
me. Pray for
I
my
feel
brothers.
bad for you, my brother. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Yeah, it's all bad. It's like
It
me
seemed
and
like a stressful life to have daughters, man. I can't do it. I got enough gray hairs. I don't need the hair to fall out.
man, they stressing the hell out of me. They mama too. Jesus,
I feel
but
like, cause I feel like all my friends with daughters, they losing their hair.
I just decided to go bald like 5 years ago. I was like before I
Yeah,
even started losing, I was like, you know what? Let's just take it all off now. You know what I'm saying? But it's like when you're traveling, you said like you said, are you into music a lot?
yeah.
You're like what are you like hip hop? Or you like the old hip hop or the new hip hop? What's your
Oh man, so that's where everybody don't know. Well, when it comes to my music's so diverse. Um, I grew up with a father who only listened to old school rap and rock and roll. So, so to this day, I listen to rock and roll. I listen to rap, R&B, some neo soul sometimes. And I listen to it's some country songs I might listen to. Like my iPod, my iPhone shuffle is crazy.
that's dope. You said because like you said most people don't come off as eclectic like that. So that's definitely you said 'cause, like
Oh
me
no,
me
I
personally,
go
I'm
from
versatile.
I go from Pink Floyd to Jay-Z in a heartbeat.
Ain't nothing wrong with that because me, my music catalog, I'm Elvis the little baby. You know what I'm saying?
There you
All in
go.
one. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but how important is you said music to get yourself ready? Because like you said, like I know like certain comedians say, well, I'll pray. Certain people say I'll listen to music. Other people, you said like, so how important? What's your ritual before you get on stage? That's the question.
My ritual is funny. Depending on how much time I gotta do, I look over seven. I look over 5 to 7 jokes that I know I want to say tonight, and then I'll find, depending on how the room is, I find 2 or 3 jokes that I think might work in that room, and then I might honestly, I'm known for going up there and I'll make up another 5 jokes right on the spot.
Okay, you can improv.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like
But as far as my ritual, um, I either smoke before my set just to clear my mind. I might talk with friends. Um, I look at some sports highlights, stuff like that. Just something to get my mind actually off comedy for a little second. You know, I like to clear my head all the way. They get the nerves away, so I just sit there and think about. Go ahead, go ahead, a little minute. I'll be back. If I actually go and just think about comedy, the nerves set in, then I start overthinking stuff. So I take my mind away from comedy for a little second. So that way, when it's time for me to actually go up, I'm almost getting like brand new news to it. You know, it's almost like I forgot I had to go up. So it's not as it's not as heart wrenching. You know what I'm saying? I just hey, I'm ready to do my thing. Every once in a while, I might give me a drink or so, just if it's like a big show or I'm a real big paid gig, just to make sure I'm like 100% comfortable. But a lot of times, and then sometimes I might listen to music, depending on if I got like my earpiece with me or something. I might put on a couple of songs, just like I said, just get my mind away from comedy for a second, so I can get ready to deliver what I got to do.
Right. So, like me personally, like I like to listen to music and stuff like that. You mentioned sometimes you like to get a drink. So what's your drink of choice?
Jameson.
Nice. Okay.
Jameson, some hen, some dark. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really a vodka drinker. Every once in a while, I might get a beer, but you know, I might just give me a shot or two, or like a double. You know what I'm saying? Double and some ginger ale, cup of water. Get ready to do my thing.
Right. Well, I'm about to give you a scenario. Like you maybe two spots after do you see what you're seeing on stage right now, and the person who's on stage right now is disgustingly drunk and just belligerent and just slur and just killing the whole vibe.
Hmm.
Let's say like no, let's change it. Let's say you're the host. How do you go in and get that person off stage to not one they don't totally embarrass themselves, but two to keep your show going?
Well, I host the room every Tuesday at the B side, Coventry. So I've dealt with that a bunch. I've dealt with the comic that's too drunk or too high, and it is thinking. You know what I'm saying? They bombing everywhere. I give them enough rope to hang themselves, then I save them. What I normally do is I'll make fun of what happened, the big elephant in the room. So if they actually drunk and slurring their words, I might come on stage acting like them, like I'm a little drunk. You know what I'm saying? Then I'll make fun of that. But honestly, I feel like you can always bring a crowd back if you know what you're doing. But as far as somebody being drunk, that is part of the territory. I mean, we do shit 50% of our shows inside of a bar, so you bound to have somebody drunk.
I mean, that's big fact. Like right now, you said you get to see a lot of up and coming talent. It's just like who are some of your favorites right now that's killing it in the city?
Some of my favorites, up and coming. Tyrone, of course, that's my dog. My dude read the comic. I've been helping him. He getting better every time I see him. DJ killing it right now. Kev Ford, Gene Miller, Kevin Osakovich. It's a lot of people I've just seen growth as they hit my room over and over. I've seen them take a joke and build on. I've seen them only have 4 minutes. Now they got 7 minutes. I've seen them become better comedians, can control the room better. Um, One thing that's a hard thing to get over when you first start doing comedy, you speak a little fast or you might stutter over words. I've seen them get more clarity when they're talking, more confidence in their talking. My dude Jay Shine, he's an example of that. So it's a lot of young comics that I've seen killing it. I just want to see them get better every time I see them.
Okay, like so you the type that you like when they come off stage, you like to give them words of encouragement or hey, maybe you can try this, do stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
most definitely, most definitely. That's something I do. Like I'll actually, not to interrupt the other comedian, I'll pull you outside to the patio or something like, hey man, I like this joke, but you might want to say it like this. You don't got to because I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the teacher on comedy, but just knowing from my experience, you might want to try it this way or add that to it or try using that word. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen them sometimes take that advice and then they hit a home run with it.
Well, you said another thing I asked every comedian that I've had on so far. I mean, I've had a lot of y'all, and I love every last one of y'all. As soon as I get some more time, I make sure I'm gonna start. I live in Canton right now, so getting up to Akron and Cleveland, that's a hump a little bit, you know.
My boy Marcus Martin from Canada.
Oh, that's what's up. Shout out to him. Okay, but if you could do your own 85 South style show with yourself and two of your counterparts, you said who be going on that tour with
If it's me, I'm gonna do me, my dude Dave Flint, and probably my dude Rob Ward.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. That sounds like a
Yeah, I
solid
feel
lineup.
like the three of us, we all been knowing each other since high school. We got a good chemistry. I've been on the road with both of them, so I just feel like the three of us would kill a show like that.
Well, you said it's like one thing I also try to teach on my platform is you said like dealing with children. It's like because we're all in this social media space, and I feel like you said, with a lot of kids, they're not ready for these social media space. A lot of them fall harm and find detriment when it comes to these comment sections. So, like, what advice would you give to a child that's getting, I guess, beat up in the comment section? You said to try to, you said maybe not take it so hard. You know what I mean?
The one thing I try to tell them that they got to understand that the internet world not real. It's not real. So you can't let fiction turn into reality. Whether you see somebody on YouTube and they got 1 million followers, 95% of the time that's a character they developed. Whether it be Country Wayne or Ha Ha David, it's a character they created. So you can't let the internet world define what's going on in your reality. So I would tell them ignore the BS, be true to who you are. You know who you are, and don't let anybody's opinion of you change your own perception of yourself.
Right. Then, like one thing, I tell my children as well as other children as well. You said along with that is that 9 times out of 10, whoever typed that hateful comment, they still got to go back to their miserable life after they hit send. So you said
Yeah,
don't try not to let that affect you. You know.
most definitely.
Now, then like have you been outside of Ohio yet?
Yeah, yeah. I've been all over the country.
Oh, that's what's up. Can't be mad at that. You said, outside of Ohio, where you said, where's some of the places that you feel like you've rocked the hardest?
I've had some dope sets in Cali. Have fun in Cali. The comedy out there is a lot different because a lot of those comedians I feel, and not to throw any shade, but the comics that I've ran into, a lot of them I feel aren't as, I wouldn't say seasoned, but they don't have the same grit that I have met when I met with like middle country comics, the Midwest, Mid East. A lot of us who grew up in these rural or smaller cities, it's so hard for us to break out, or it's so much um, obstacles we may have to encounter. So by the time we make it to Cali and stuff, we ready for whatever. Our skin is thicker. We ready to go up there swinging and punching.
So you said, what do you think is more difficult? You said, would it be like, follow New York style, you said venue, or like a California venue?
Um, it just honestly depends on the venue, but more so than the city. I feel like the hardest spots to do are places where you don't focus your confidence the most. I feel like sometimes you let a big city or a bigger room almost shrink you to an extent. So it's like I'll never forget. Like I was in Tennessee, and I did a show there, and we had did a couple warm up shows, and I killed them. So when it's time for the big show in the big club, I kind of went flat a little bit, and I was mad at myself. But what happened was the first two comics ahead of me kind of bombed, so it made me nervous to that, like, oh, they're not gonna feel none of my jokes. So like I said, sometimes it's in your head, and you don't get your best product.
Well, after you have a night like that where you feel like you didn't give your best product, how do you personally bounce back when it comes to the next night?
I listen to the audio on my sets. I listen to how I said the jokes, what words I used. Did I end the joke too fast? Did I talk too fast to it? Was I not speaking loud enough? Did I not give enough conviction as I was saying it? Because there's sometimes where I would say a joke and I almost say it backwards, to where it's like I should have said it like this. So I would almost critique myself.
Right.
I would almost critique myself as to how I'm doing it. And I was like, you know what? I should have said this. I should have said that. And I'll take little notes like practice that joke again and make sure you say it like this. Or I'm like, you know what? I might want to screw up that ending, so I'm gonna put a new ending to it and see if it's the ending or if it's just me not delivering it correctly.
Right. Like when you preparing your jokes and everything, like are you writing like with your pen and pad, or are you using the cell phone?
I actually do both.
Okay.
Um, I do a lot of cell phone now just because I try and get a lot of more of my jokes in the heat of the moment. So it's times where I'll think of a joke on top of my head and I'll say the joke into my voice recorder or I'll type it out on my phone. But if I'm sitting around a writing session or I'm just sitting around by myself, I like to pull out a pencil and a paper. It just feel a different way as I'm actually writing a joke. I feel like I'm more connected to it.
Right. Well, like, are you one of those type of people like you rehearse in the mirror? Because I know like with music artists they do that a lot. I haven't really heard many comedians say they rehearse their shit or they like that. They write it down and they say
Um,
it to themselves, but they like I would think you would maybe do it in the mirror or in front of your family or something like
See, when I first started doing comedy, like my first maybe like couple months in, I was rehearsing in front of a mirror, but that doesn't help. Because you can't pick up a person's perception and or the attention they're giving you from a mirror. So whereas poetry or music, you're saying the same words the same way, and it's supposed to be, it's a beat to it, or it's a message behind it. With comedy, you actually got to take somebody, open up what you're saying, and have them come into your lane and understand exactly where you're coming from. Because that's the biggest thing. That's when you hit home with those homegrown or those big laugh jokes that's from the soul. They actually like if I say a joke with my kids, somebody will put themselves their same self in my shoes, like, man, my kids is and stuff like that too. So they can picture themselves living the same thing I'm living. So that's the difference with trying to do it in front of a mirror. Because me personally, when I'm trying to work on new jokes, I just say them. I find a stage, whether it's an open mic or my room, and I'm just gonna say these jokes. If I don't get no laughs, oh well. If I get laughs, noted. If I don't get laughs, I figure out like, okay, back to the drum board. What did I say that was wrong? But I like to practice it live in front of people. Um, Comics who try and use their material and their friends and family become annoying.
that.
Because I don't need you to give me your 10 minute set. I'm just trying to talk to you about the Cavs. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need to hear 15 jokes for no reason right now.
Right. I mean, we all got that one family member at the cookout and just want to sit there and you then talk your damn
Oh
ear
no,
off.
so like I said, no, don't get me wrong. I'm that family member. I'm gonna talk some shit. I'm gonna ride people. We playing spades. I'm on your ass the whole nine. But it's all natural. It's not me. It's nothing unrehearsed. It's nothing I'm gonna use on stage. Just me being funny to you about our situation.
Right. And like you just said, there's a difference. You said 'cause, like talking shit on a spades table, and you said you practicing your set. It's like two different things. It's like
And
we all know that person.
I actually stop conversation with a comment like, "Hey, bro, I don't need to hear your 5 minutes. I'm just trying to talk." I mean,
Right. I think it was it Aries Spears. He was on a set with Eddie Murphy. And he was trying to do his thing, and Eddie Murphy was like, "Bruh, knock it off."
yeah, because it's annoying because I spend my days doing this. I spend my days hearing this. That's like if you, that's like if you a singer and every time somebody see this, you want to start like, let me hear. Like, I wrote this song, man. Can you mind give me 5 minutes of singing in your ear? Like nobody want to go through that all the time.
It's funny because somebody asked me because I've had a couple of musicians on my platform, and one of the questions I always get is like, "Why don't you never ask them to rap or nothing like that?" It's stupid. For one, they call it a mic check for a reason, and for two,
Hmm.
like at the end of the day, we're here to talk. I'm not you think to like have a casual conversation. I'm not trying to get you to perform for me. You know what I mean? It's like I think to me, unless you're going to like a funk flex or like you're going to like a wilding out where that's what you're going there to do. I don't think when you're in an interview or something, some place like that. To me, I think it's rude and disrespectful for the to try to try to get people.
Comics, we hate that because it almost feel like you're trying to make us like we like some trained circus animal or something. Like I'm not here to show you a trick real fast. I'm not a magician about to pull a rabbit out my hat for your amusement right now. I tell people and I try and be as respectful as possible. If you ever see me and you like, oh man, you a comedian, or tell me a joke. I politely tell them like, hey, I got a show here, I got a show there, I got a show there. Come on out, you get all the jokes you want.
Oh, that's he's just like mention it like how for one how often does that happen and for two I know you said come see me here but like is it like 'cause, I mean because we know we gotta keep our cool but like after a while it's got to become irritating because like you got to hear it on a regular basis. How do you keep your mind in check from going there and getting irritated because like I said some people can be a little pushy.
And that's what I said. Like I'm a living asshole. So the things people say, it don't bother me as much as it will bother other people because I'm already used to ruffling feathers. So it take a lot to ruffle mine. So when
Okay.
people doing stuff like that, I can always keep my composure. Like, hey, man, just come out to a show. I don't gotta be disrespectful. I gotta call you out your name. I gotta cuss at you. Come to a show.
Okay.
I just respectfully decline. Like, I'm not gonna tell you no joke. I'm sorry. I won't do it. Because there's times that I'll be at a family reunion and the auntie who ain't never seen me do a show be like, "Oh, baby, you should do time for the family. The family can come to my shows. I invite y'all all the time."
I know that's right. It's like, are you are you on social media like with TikToks and the Instagram and
Yeah,
everything?
I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Um, Facebook is at Morrow. Instagram is ant underscore Morrow. Morrow is Morrow, like tomorrow. Twitter is funny speaker. But yeah, I interact with the fans. People will send me stuff all the time in my DMs. I get a lot of bookings like that. Like people will see me set up a clip of a stand up I did, and or I put a poster up. They'll come out to a show. Like I booked a lot of shows like that. Like they'll send me a message about, hey, I'm thinking about doing this and that. And I'm like, well, come to a show. You'll see what I can do. And then come out to a show. I show them some what I can do, and then we'll be in touch. And next thing you know, they book me for a birthday party or a graduation, or I done wedding receptions. I done all kind of stuff.
Okay, that was the. You see, the reason I was asking about that because I know a lot of the comedians right now are going viral on TikTok and
hmm
things like this. So with social media that you have, which one gets the most traction?
I'll probably say the most traction would be my Instagram. My Instagram. Uh, Depending on the post I put up or the clip, it get a lot of views, a lot of comments. Like I said, it's gotten my foot in a lot of doors just by people seeing me. I might put up a minute clip of so I might do the hilarities, or I might put up a clip for one of my Tuesdays, and then people would just see like, oh, he's funny, whether he's talking off the cuff or if he's doing some real jokes.
Right. So you saying like with your Instagram, like are you do you interact with you in the comment section?
Yeah, so I would interact like if it's times I put up stuff where it's not even got to do a comedy. Like sometimes I put up one of these actors or pick your favorite lineup with $15, and then from there I interact with people, crack some jokes. I have no problem with that. I'm nowhere near famous enough and or that arrogant to where if I see somebody comment and they're trying to interact with me, I'm just going to ignore them.
Right.
Unless you want them bots trying to get me to sell Bitcoin and steal my identity, then I might ignore you.
I know that's. I mean, we get them all the time. It's like one thing that's funny, and like I find it hilarious. And like I've been compiling a bunch of them. Like on my Instagram, I'll get people that are stealing Instagram models pictures, and they're trying to
Mhm.
get me to buy their content. But then you look at their profile; they've got 4 pictures, and they're following 6 people. But you want me to believe that you're the actual this person you're pretending to be.
Oh,
So I'm
listen. See, I'm safe in that realm because I don't care if it was Beyonce herself messaging me. I ain't spend no money for your OnlyFans.
right,
I don't got $1.99 for you. I don't got $9.99 for you. I got kids, diapers, fucking drawers to buy. I'm not spending none of that shit on you. I can see free porn all over the internet. Shit, Twitter is damn near porn site. Like I don't need to buy shit
right,
from you.
right. It's just funny to me because like I mean, strip clubs has always been around. Like to me, that's doing too much. Me personally, it's like what do you like? What is your thoughts on the level of simping that niggas is doing these days when it comes to buying pictures and videos from these bitches?
It ain't gonna make it make me it made me wish that I'd have kept in contact with a lot of the slut sites and fuck with back in the day. I ain't even gonna lie to you, because if I was still in contact with a bunch of them, we would have went viral like fuck with some OnlyFans shit.
Right.
Because what it did show me though is that the level of horniness that men got is untouchable.
That that is
Like you can't be that horny. And then I be seeing some of the girls having OnlyFans, and they be looking like somebody baby mama. Like I'm not paying to see your stretch marks and shit. You lost your mind?
right. And you got 2 bullet holes in your back. You want me to pay for that?
Yeah.
Knock it off.
Like girl, you look like me without a beard. I'd be damn about us give you some money for your OnlyFans.
Hell to the no. It's crazy because like at the end of the day, okay, yeah, you got simps paying you and but then also the Amber Rose had the problem where her son had to. I guess she had to sit her son down because I guess some of his classmates had saw her OnlyFans. So now he's got You said not only are you saying your parents famous, but now you saying your mother's known for being naked on the internet. So not only you like now you got to be the child at school with that kind of shit. Like, can you imagine what that shit be like for a child? Who's like, at least my mama ain't on OnlyFans. And you said now you got to fight.
See, that's just see. How can I say it? I feel in that realm, you don't gotta fight. Because I feel like if my mom Amber Rose, I know she Amber Rose. Like, it's no way her son don't know that she Amber Rose. Like, there's no way she come home and she wear fucking full t-shirts and baggy jeans, and you know what I'm saying. Like, he knows something,
Mhm.
unless he like four. You know what I'm saying? So he knows something. Now, if your mother out here being a hoe for free, then that's when you gotta fight people.
Yeah,
Cause the shit hit home. Y'all still poor. She out here hoeing.
yeah, right. Or you saying like I said, your mother could
But
have
I
an
ain't,
OnlyFans and she should
I
be
ain't
the
crying too much if my mother driving this Benz and shit. I don't got them tears. Last time I was mad about somebody bullying me, I went to Disney World for a week, so I don't give two shits about what she do to get this money.
hey, nothing wrong with that. You said, but like I said, you said you've got thick skin and some of these kids don't. Would you say, like I said, with
But that's just a generation, man. This generation, everything is handed to them. Everybody want to coddle them, and I get it because as a kid that grew up in the '80s and '90s, I understand it was a lot of shit that they pushed on us that we might not have been ready for. But it was like life made you get ready.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? Like, whether it was ready to be sitting at home by yourself while your parents work, whether it was ready to see police violence on black people, whether it was you was ready to see fucking Y2K 9/11, like a lot of stuff happened for us that we just had to be ready for.
yeah,
Now I feel like the kids nowadays are desensitized with video games and YouTube and shit that when something happens in reality, they know how to process it because they so used of just clicking past something when they don't want to watch it no more or see it no more.
yeah. It's like you said, like a lot of these politicians, like they want to sit there and they want to blame video games and music and movies like that for some of the things that these kids are doing. But you said we live like, but instead of like dealing with the actual problem, like when it comes to like mental health, things like that.
Hmm.
Like when it comes to your kids, and you said, let's say video games and movies, do you like to a degree shelter them on what you allow them to intake?
So that's a funny question because anybody know me, I know I try and shelter them from a lot of stuff. Um, I'm one of the parents that I do coddle when it comes to certain stuff, but just because I know how dark the world can get real fast. But we also have a lot of heart to hearts. Like I talk to my kids a lot about realities and stuff, whether it be bullying, whether it be racist things, you know what I'm saying, whether it be the politics of the world, relationship stuff. It's times me and their mom might not get along. I try and explain to them like, I ain't never gonna talk disrespectful to y'all. You know what I'm saying? You gotta respect your mom. You gotta. I may not agree with her, but you gotta listen to what she's saying. So um, certain things I try and keep them away from. I try and like as far as sexual things and today of age to age I feel responsible. I try and keep all that away from 'em. They don't need to see nothing nasty. They don't need to watch nothing nasty. I don't show them nothing nasty. But at the same time, if they see it, we gotta discuss it. I'm not gonna act like it's some shit they didn't see. Like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, no, now we gotta unpack this so that we know exactly what's going on.
Right. It's like we don't see a lot of that. Usually we hear about it, but we don't see that a lot. So I definitely got to commend you on you and doing that. Like I said, these kids are something else, man. They're taking in so much, and it's just like with my kids, like I try to talk to them as well, and he's like my kids, he's in like, well, my friend has and brand new J's that just came out. And well, I hope your friend didn't bring home F's on their report card because you ain't getting no J's till them F's come up. You know what I mean?
And that's right. And all my kids know that. My kids know academics come for anything. I don't care about Fortnite, your friends, your cousin's house. I don't care about you want to watch a movie. If them grades ain't right, your life about to be hard in this house.
I know that's right. It's like one of the other things that at this point, me and my wife we laugh about it now, and it's because my kids will try to pit us against each other from time to time, and they go, "Well, mom said I could do. I don't give a fuck what your mother said." That's our go-to line. It used to like some people would take that as a sign of disrespect, but me as a strong black man, it's like, no, no, no. He's saying like I run this household. You're not gonna. try to play them games with me. Go play with your friends, not me. You know.
So as much as me and they mom might bump heads, I let it be known they know my word is end all be all. Like I tell them, and I say this to them so they understand. I'm like, God Himself can't trump what I'm about to tell you.
Right.
Not a grandma, not a grandpa, not an auntie, not a mama. If I said it, it's law.
Fact. Fact.
Because one thing I'm doing, I'm raising black men to be strong black men. I'm raising y'all to understand it comes with responsibility. It comes with consequences. A lot of things you gonna have to deal with. But when I tell you something for your own good, don't tell me your opinion on it. Don't tell me what somebody else said about it. Don't say well they. I don't care who said it's okay. If I said it's not cool, we not doing it.
Right. Uh, I was raised on a moniker that my father got from his father. Uh, 'Cause we all got to that age. I was like, he said, why do you beat my ass so much? He sat me down. He looked at me. He's like, son, I beat your ass so the police don't have to. And
Mm,
that stuck with me. You know what I mean?
that's a good saying.
And using, like,
That's a good saying.
yeah,
Cause I ain't gonna lie, most of my friends who got their ass beat a lot, and none of them got a prison record.
nope. I've been to jail like twice in my life, and it was for traffic shit.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that kept me on the straight and narrow. So that's what I try to teach my son. It's like I can't even cap to you. It's sometimes it gets hard, especially you said, 'cause like I said, I have four daughters, and he's in the middle, and it's like, man, they give my son hell. It's just like I have to. I spend a lot of time using with him by himself, so he can get that love he need, man. Because like I said, them girls will drive you insane.
Man, listen, I can imagine. I got an older sister and a younger sister. Sorry, no. I grew up with my own bully in my house with her, and now I have my first daughter with my little sister because we 14 years apart. So when she was born, she became like a daughter to me. So I've already had to deal with the she got you wrapped around her finger. I gotta buy this, buy that, take her here, take her there. Can't say no. Can't raise your voice at her. I know all about that stuff. So I'm glad I ain't got no daughters. But my sister, I can get back to my parents. I don't
Right.
want to have to deal with that every day. Cause all my friends, they get their nails painted and they got to do father daughter dance and they got to do tea parties and they got to talk worry about boys and all kind of stuff. I'm just happy I ain't got none of that stress going on.
But see, like with me personally, I set a standard in my house. You saying like I'll paint my daughter's nails. You're not painting my nails. I'm not going. You said it's like you, you can get the little play makeup. You're not putting makeup on me. You can say what you want. Oh, well, you say when you're phobic. No, that's just not my get down. She got a mama for that.
Hmm.
You so like it's like I said, it's all whatever because like you'll see The Rock, you see with his daughters doing all that kind of and hey, that's cool at the Rock House. That's just not how I get down. And you said not there's nothing that you or anybody on social media is gonna tell me you to move me off my square. You know what I mean? It's like it's,
And you got to be like that as a parent, no, honestly. Like, you got to be like that. Because you can't, what works in that household may not work in yours.
mm,
So if Rock is comfortable in his own skin or his household, do something like that, that's his household.
mm,
But that's just like if I'm living in a household and we Muslim, another household Christian, you're not going to tell me that we're supposed to have the same beliefs and walk the same path every day.
mm,
So in my household, I'm not doing that. You got to respect it and go to mom, go to your auntie, go to one of your cousins. They can play makeup with you.
right. And it's like,
But me and your brother not doing it.
no, we're not going at gunpoint. No. Period.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
That's just
like
like that's like their mom. She don't rough house. I gotta get my ass whooped by a bunch of kids every day because she don't want to wrestle. So I'm not gonna make her like, well, you got a son, you better go ahead and tackle one of them. That ain't what she do.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? I know some moms that fight with their kids and beat them up and stuff. That ain't what she really into. So I'm not gonna force her to do like, well, you got to do it. Nah, man, that's not your bag. I'm not gonna force nothing on you.
right. You said, well, with that being said, like, do you see like a lot of like nowadays we're like I said we're in the age of social media. Like I see a lot of moms that they put certain things on social media, but they're also adding their children in it. And I think that's also a possible detriment to certain children. 'Cause, like if you throwing that ass in a circle, your daughter should not be on camera with you. You said,
Yeah, now see that kind of stuff. You can't go live twerking and stuff or lingerie trying to get subscribers. You can't be doing that. But I feel like as long as you and your kids not in the same frame with what you do, and as long as you don't follow each other on social media. What you do is what you do. You know, if you want to show your titties on Monday and then show your son graduating high school on Tuesday, that's your business because he'll never know. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But you can't be friends with your son, comment on his pictures, and then he see a post of you fucking tell niggas to subscribe to your OnlyFans. Like, what the fuck you got going on?
Right. It is funny because you like most of them sites like OnlyFans and you look at Patreon, all of them started off being for something else. And of course, everybody's a hustler, so they find their own way to do that kind of deal. It's like in your personal opinion, you said like, do you think it takes away from like where it started from? Because like a lot of people would do like comedians or like you can self help gurus or like fitness people. They would use those platforms. You said, and it basically got overshadowed by using ass and titties. Like so, with that being with that, how do you navigate your social media? You said like to filter away from the bullshit.
So for me, I don't I don't knock nobody hustle. So if your hustle is OnlyFans, if your hustle is Patreon, if your hustle is selling Herbalife tea, whatever it is, that's your business. You know what I'm saying? I do. The only thing I will blame, I'll blame the pandemic. I blame the pandemic because I feel like the pandemic is it gave people had to do that out of necessity. I feel like people turned to OnlyFans and Clubhouse and Patreon and all this other sites they be trying to post stuff because they were stuck in the house, but they had a minuscule job to lay them off, and they had to find a way to make money. It then became profitable, so they kept running with that rather than going back into the workforce. So I'm not gonna knock nobody hustle. If that's what you into, do your thing, get your money, baby.
Right. You said that like before we get up out of here, you said like one another thing that's across the social media right now because I guess Ice Cube did an interview and I guess a lot of people felt like he was throwing shade at Chris Tucker by saying that Mike Epps was funnier than Chris Tucker. Where does that
Mm-hmm.
sit as a comedian? Where does that sit with
Um, I honestly feel like Ice Cube probably did that because Ice Cube don't got Chris Tucker under his thumb like he got Mike Epps under his thumb. Like if Ice Cube say he want to shoot another Friday or All About the Business too, Mike Epps gonna come running most times. But he's already tried to approach Chris Tucker about doing Friday sequels, and he's turned them out down every time. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's more of him going to his allegiance. Like he rocks with me, he makes money with me, he supports me, he follows me. So I'm never gonna say that Chris Tucker the funnier comic when Chris Tucker don't even get down with me like he should.
right? Because you like if you looked at it, I mean, some people were butthurt about that. You know,
I mean, because Chris Tucker, you can't handle Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker might be one of the funnier comedic comics actors that we had, especially in the last 20 years. From Money Talk, like everything Chris Tucker in, he funny. He was funny in Fifth Element.
absolutely. So like I said, before we get out of here, once again, give everybody your socials.
Oh yeah, like I said, you can follow me on Facebook at Ant Morrow Morrow. Instagram @_Morrow. Twitter Funny Speaker. I'm gonna get into TikTok and all that one day. Maybe I do a dance or something so I can go viral so y'all can follow my pages. But right now I'm gonna stick to Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. But yeah, follow me, come out to a show, comment, interact with me. I write back. I come out, I do shows, I support. I mean,
Right. Well, with all that being said, you saying make sure if you guys like this video, make sure you like turn on that, hit that like button, share, comment, turn on that bell notification so you don't miss another video. I love you, and Morrow loves you. We out of here, man. Peace.
peace.